Good morning, good morning. Hope everyone's doing good today so far. We're doing good. Everyone's doing good. Beautiful. We got Gulag coming in. We got Zoom coming in. Let's just get this is the first April here. New month is beginning and man, like pound yen has still been in this range over here. I think we broke down below 152 460, tapped into like around 152 300 and then kind of like rejected it, but yeah, we're still ranging here today. Be careful with April Fool jokes. Yes, the market can turn around and throw like an April Fool's trade at you. All right, you sound like you're. Oh really? I don't know. It's fine. I think it's fine. Let's take a look at gold over here. See what's going on. Okay, so let's remove all analysis since this is the start of the month over here. So we're going to remove all analysis on pound yen. And let's take a look at the monthly time frame here. So the monthly candle is moving, obviously, like, we're bullish at this time, and there's a bit of a rejection at 153.822. So we're going to mark that onto the chart right over here. Let's take a look on the weekly time frame. Looking at the weekly time frame, we're moving up. Obviously, very, very bullish. Looking at the daily time frame, previous daily candle was bullish. We broke above this resistance here, and now we gotta figure out whether we're gonna continue moving up or not. Let's take a look on the 4-hour time frame. Looking on the 4-hour, we're basically ranging here. We got a resistance formed at 152.750. Looking at the 1-hour time frame. Yeah, it's a lot of mess over here. We got a support form right over here on the 1-hour time frame. Let's drop down to the 30-minute time frame. Looking at the 30-minute, it's very clear that the support exists. I think right over here. Yeah, we got the support here on the 30-minute time frame. This is now a range, right? So we got our most recent resistance, 152.770. We got our most recent support, 152.350, 340. So if you measure this range is, oh wow, this is a 42 pip range. Let's take a look on the 15-minute time frame. Yeah, I don't think this is a good range to trade at all, because even if you look in this range, within this range, you got a support down here, and if you measure this, like at 12 pips away. I mean, it's not worth it. I would want to see price break below the support, because if you can break below the support, then we can continue down towards like 152 100, 152.080, fill this wick, and with volume continue moving bearish, because like right now we're in this very, very hard range over here at this point. So what would happen if price breaks up, right? 152.800. Let's see if price breaks above 152.800. Let's take a look to the left hand side. Looking all the way to the left, I think it's going to take us back in 2018. Looking all the way to the left, we see our first rejections around, I would say like 152.950 right here. We can't take a look at the 1-hour time frame because 2018 1-hour candles did not exist, so we have no data over there. So this is what we're going to go off of, 152.950, and then continue on above towards 153, 250, 400. So we can talk about that once price starts moving up at that point. Yeah. Oh. All right. Let's take a look at this chart over here. This chart, pound AUD, buys above this area, looking for buys above here. Okay, got clean candles. I think also if you can measure this range, oh, this is a 28 pip range. Yeah, I mean, if there's an opportunity for you to buy above this area here, I think this could be some sort of enough room for price to move up. Other than that, sells look good. Buys above here also look good. You got clean traffic to the left hand side. So yeah, you got those things playing in your favor over here. Imagine you calling the trade, for example, GJ sell and 50% going drawdown, and then you say April Fools. Yeah, that could happen. Pound yen 15-minute chart. No idea what's going on over here. Casper, there's no labeling, and I honestly don't know what's going on over here. Did you take a sell over here? Did you take a sell over here? Over here? Over here? No idea. So you need to send a chart again. Was considering price to move up, took a buy, 15-minute time frame. You managed risk, stop loss 13 pips. Yeah, I think even if you wait for the high to break, what was this? Oh, it was gold. Okay. Oh yeah, right here on gold. Yeah, I don't think the 30-minute candles formed in a way that would tell us price is going to continue moving bullish. All right, let's break down gold over here. Let's see. Let's go towards the daily time frame. Actually, you know what's happening today? Today we have unemployment claims over here around 8:30, and we're going to see what that number is going to be, because that's going to move gold here today too. Let's take a look at gold over here on the daily time frame. Actually, let's remove all analysis. Let's look at the monthly time frame. So the monthly candle closed bearish, right? We rejected a really strong support down here at 1675. We closed bearish. I mean, there's an opportunity for this monthly candle to continue bearish, but we need to look at some more information on these smaller time frames, right? So yesterday, what I was discussing on weekly was that maybe this weekly candle, it went down to support, retraced to maybe continue moving down with NFP, because you know that like they're looking at really good numbers for NFP. If you look right here, right, they're looking at 652,000 from 379,000, right? So that's a big jump. So let's take a look on the daily time frame. Daily is also retracing. Now daily broke a support at 1722. You know, maybe it's retracing to create like a minor resistance to overall continue moving down on Friday. That's something we don't know, so we'll have to wait and see. Looking on the 4-hour time frame, we had this resistance around 1713. We broke above this area. We had a support down at 1706. Let's draw that support right over here. And it looks like the 1-hour candles are coming into some sort of a problem over here now. Because right now what's going on is we're creating a resistance up here after breaking up. So looking at 30-minute time frame, we got a resistance formed right over here. Yeah, that's good, right? Because now if we can break above, you know, 1715, 1716, how big is this range? 30 pips? 30 pips. Pretty doable range, you know, doable range. Looking at 15-minute time frame as well, I think above 1716. It's still kind of like tight, so I'll have to wait for the news to come out here. So we'll see what happens when the news comes out. Your thoughts on trading on Good Friday? I mean, if you see setups on Good Friday, then that's going to be a good setup on Good Friday, you know. But if you don't see a setup and you don't, you know, execute the way you're supposed to execute, then Good Friday for you is going to be probably a bad Friday, you know. So it's not going to work that way. First time sharing charts. Let's take a look at this right here. This is pound yen 30-minute chart. No trade range due to choppiness. Okay. No trade range due to choppiness. Okay, so you're looking for sells below this area here, whatever price is mentioned over there. Okay, looks good. And then also you're looking for buys above, you know, 150 to 960. Yeah, looks good. Your ranges are good. You're being more conservative here, so you know, I guess that's good. I'm basically looking for buys above, you know, 150 to 800 for price to continue bullish. So we'll see what happens. This is a empty chart here. Okay. Yeah, we're just ranging here on pound yen. Gold is also kind of like trying to see where it's going to move with unemployment claims. All right, let's take a look at your JPY. Do you know what OPEC JMMC meetings are? It's a red folder on FOMC. No idea. I think the main reason I don't know about OPEC is because I don't trade oil or I don't trade CAD. That's why I've never really focused on what OPEC meetings are going to do, or, I mean, let's check it out right here. Our 10 representative of 13 OPEC members, 11 oil-rich nations. They discuss a range of issues regarding energy markets, and most importantly, meetings are close to press, but officials usually talk with reporters. Okay. Mainly due to like oil and stuff like that. Never really focused on that, so don't have any good idea. Gold. Price created support. Entered expecting gold to retest the highs. Candles forming higher highs, higher lows. Okay, makes sense, makes sense. So you think price can continue moving bullish now. So whenever you're in a trade, you're looking to see how can you basically manage risk, right? All the time. That's what I'm thinking. Whenever I'm in a trade, I'm always looking to see how can I manage risk. So looking at the 15-minute time frame, we know the 15-minute candle is about to close, and if it closes bearish, I think you gotta like kind of like manage risk at that point a little bit, because if it's closing bearish below this area, then there's a possibility it may start ranging, right? So that's why it's going to be very important to manage risk at that time. Bought new PC, was using laptop. GJ Money, I bought PC after joining Market Fluidity. Oh, 22-inch PC is good enough for trader. Yeah, it's good enough. I think if you have 4K screen, you can see more of the charts, but still good. Charts move the same way. Is Dominion Markets available? Well, yes. We've been testing things. Going to be running tests on withdrawal and deposits today and tomorrow. So I think from Monday we should be good to go. Yeah. I threw in a little bit of a deposit there and we'll see how that goes. All right, GJ. Entry after here, candle close bullish. Yeah, so I guess you basically manage risk over here at this point. It's still choppy here, 152.390, 152.390. Yeah, it's still kind of. Oh, so you wanted this price to come down, but I guess it had other plans at that point. All right. Should you wait for that 1 hour to form support on gold? 1 hour, see if this 1 hour candle closes bullish, then this means there's a high probability for gold to continue moving up to 1719. If the 1 hour candle closes bullish. So far, you have the 30-minute candle still open, and for the 30-minute candle to close bullish or to go bullish, we need this 15-minute to break above the high of the previous 15-minute and continue bullish. As long as that happens, I think it's going to be a good way to continue bullish. So let's take a look at this chart over here. Pound USD price broke support and retested, forming a weak candle. Okay, so you had a bullish candle, next candle broke support, you entered over here, close full position. Yeah, I think you need to look at the Impulse Entries webinar and kind of see what the conditions are for price to kind of like, if it breaks below a bullish candle or bearish candle, you gotta go and refresh that concept. Because when you have an impulse entry, impulse entries are better when, so let's say if price is moving down, right? If price is moving bearish, impulse entries are better if a bearish candle is going to break the low of a bearish candle. That's going to be much better. But if you have a bullish candle, let's say right over here, and the next candle tries to break the low of the bullish candle, then the probability of it moving down is going to be a little bit, low. So either you would need a small body bullish candle, or you will need a bearish candle closing there. If you guys don't know what that webinar is, I'll bring it up right over here. So if you go over here, you go to Wix Don't Lie. You go to Wix Don't Lie, and then you go to videos. I think it was right over here, impulse entries. Yeah, right here, impulse entries. I'll paste the link here for you guys too. Yeah, some details I really hash out there for impulse entries webinars. All right, this is gold analysis coming in from the gulag here. This is buys above 1719. Okay, looks good. Sells below 1706. So the other price action in the middle, you're considering that as a range at that point. Let's take a look here on a 30-minute time frame. 30 minute. Yeah, that's true. It's a little choppy over here. It's really choppy. I mean, if you really want to force something, I think a really good thing to force is going to be probably below 1710, 1711 for price to continue down in this range. I mean, how big is this? Like 30 pips? 40 pips, 44 pip range here. Below 1710. Yeah, below 1710 would make much more sense. I think if we look at things below, 1713, this minor support, you got first minor support around 12 pips away, and then another one like 20 pips away. So I don't think that's a pretty good range for price to move. So I think based on a 1 hour time frame, it's going to be much better. And you basically anticipate volume to continue down, but we'll see how this 1 hour candle closes and how really price sets up before the news here today. So when taking a trade with 30-minute confirmation, we drop to the 15-minute to manage it. No need to go to 5-minute. No need to go to 5-minute. What I've seen is guys are gonna over-manage. So there's a concept of managing trades, and there's another concept of over-managing trades, right? You can really over-manage trade on a 5-minute time frame. You can really choke your trades on a 5-minute time frame. So I've stopped looking at the 5-minute for managing my trades. Unless if I'm entering on the 15-minute, or if I'm entering on gold, then I got to look at the small time frame. But other than that, if I have a 1 hour or a 30-minute bias in mind, I'm generally just gonna look at the the 15-minute time frames to manage trades. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. This is buys. Entered, break of the previous wick, closed 10 pip profits. Nice. Very nice. Oh, we got a question coming in. Oh, JP Savage donated $1.99. Thank you. Is it possible to invest in Forex long term? If I truly believe in a country's recovery coming out of this pandemic, or just in general? I mean, it's more of so you investing in a company. Country, there are a lot of variables that come into play when you look at a country, right? I mean, there are a lot of things that come in with the pandemic. I mean, you also got interest rates to look at. You got if you're looking at pound, you got Brexit to look at. So that's a very delicate situation there if you count on a country's economy to kind of bounce back. Looking back on month of March, how would you rate your performance? I think my performance was pretty good in March. I think it was pretty good. I don't know, I'll have to check what I could have done better. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. This is UJ. 1 hour broke above level, make another resistance area. If we broke with volume, 13 pip is a good buy. I think you'll need to see price break above this level here. UCJPY doesn't have enough volume, so maybe the news, which is going to be here in about an hour and a half, that may influence this price action here too. So I guess we'll have to wait a little bit. Where to impulse buy, above the green candle or the red candle? I think it's going to be above the green, but you have this resistance here on the left hand side too. You got to take that into account. All right, looking at GA over here. Wow, the gulag is freaking out there. Gulag is freaking out today. Buys above 1.82300. Looks good. Sells below 1.82000. Yeah, we're in this range at this point now. Do you think Forex can end soon because of crypto? Well, before asking that question, you need to ask yourself, will people stop using currencies in the world? When people stop using currencies in the world, then Forex is going to stop. So if you think crypto is going to take over all the currencies, it's not going to happen. I mean, not in the next 10 years, I would say. So you got 10 years to make money. At least. Got 10 years more trading left. I'm just executing one trade a day, following strict discipline, staying away. I'm losing and managing the risk. I'm executing on my 15-minute time frames. What? Following strict discipline, staying away from over trading and over risking, but mostly I'm losing and managing the risk. What do you suggest? Well, Mubashir, you sent a chart yesterday. I looked at the chart and I gave my review. I think there was some mistakes that were made. So whenever you lose a trade, so I'm going to go back to something I say literally all the time. Whenever you lose a trade, you got to take a look at that trade and you got to see and ask yourself, what could you have done something different? Or what was there something you missed? Did you make a mistake? Did you enter too early? Did you enter too late? Where could you have entered? Like the amazing thing about hindsight, okay, let's talk about hindsight, right? The amazing thing about hindsight is that, let's say, for example, someone let's say someone bought gold with this 15-minute candle closing bearish, right? Anticipating, okay, we're going to move up. Now, once this candle went down, now you got to take a look at that and ask yourself, okay, how could I have not taken this loss? And you could say that, okay, well, 15-minute candle closed bearish, and I could have kept this resistance in mind, and I guess I could have executed once we broke above this area, because 15-minute candle closed bearish, creating minor resistance. This is not enough range, so I don't think that was a good trade. You know, and that's something you make a note on, and then you move on to the next day. But if you don't make notes on this, you're going to repeat the same mistake over and over again. What do you guys think about this GA? Yeah, I think it's good. We looked at this, Lance. We looked at this. There's also a possible buy above this area. But if it's like another range you like, then that's okay. You got clean range above this area too. Looks good. Your JPY is also retracing here. Let's take a look at USD CAD. Impulse entries really need patience and practice. Yes, that's true, man. Impulse entries are extremely difficult, and you need a lot of experience for impulse entries. You know, I spent about 6 months trying to, like, you know, develop impulse entries. It took a long time. Let's take a look on the daily time frame. GA has been ranging since the 2nd and 3rd week of March. No, USD CAD, sorry. So we got a support forming here, obviously, right? We got a support forming at 1.25, 500. We got some sort of a resistance here, but we got to take a look at that on the smaller time frames and see what's going on. All right, so we got this resistance here. No problem, no problem. Let's take a look on the 30-minute time frame. Yeah, that's a very solid area right there on the 1-hour time frame right here. This entire area is extremely delicate situation here. We got resistance, and then we got a lot of rejections here. But if we do break above this area, 1.2600, I think there's a very good opportunity for price to continue on towards, you know, 1.26230, which is like 23, 24 pips away right here. But it's messy, right? And the reason why it's messy is because you got these rejections here to the left-hand side. So that's why it's messy. So now when you measure the range becomes much smaller. It becomes like, you know, 13, 14 pips. So it's very difficult out there. But I do think if the ranges are smaller, I think they're waiting for the unemployment news here later on. How about impulse entry in gold, similar to GJ, or we should use 5-minute for gold? If you're looking at impulse entries on gold on smaller time frames, now you got to understand gold moves fast, really fast, right? So looking on the smaller time frame, this would not be a good impulse entry down here on the 5-minute to continue down, because you got this consolidation here to the left hand side. It's going to take you a lot of practice to really execute on gold. It'll take you a lot of practice. There's going to be a lot of sitting and watching on gold. Like most times when you switch to a new pair, most of the time you're just like watching, sitting, watching, seeing how it behaves at NY Open, pre-New York, NYSE Open, you know, and then you kind of like decide that, okay, maybe this is the best time to trade gold for me. Raja coin. Yes, I applied for a Raja coin. Let's see how far we go with that. Raja coin. This is SPX 500, price made a high, higher low formed, resistance formed, okay here, price moved up, executed buys on close above retest, managed risk when price started moving bearish. I think what you could have done, your analysis was good. I think once you had this candle close bullish with no wick on the top, you could have maybe closed 50% at that time. Right? could have closed maybe 50% at that time, because whenever you have a candle with no wick, this means there's no range for the next candle to go up. So close 50% there. Next 15-minute candle comes down, stops you out, so you basically lose less than what you basically planned on to lose. And then, you know, price went up, but then this range wasn't enough as it went back up. So yeah, a little bit of a candle watching there. Pound yen is still ranging here, obviously. Still waiting here. Man, this is becoming like a very, very difficult range over here. Someone donated 99 Philippine. What's the currency there? Philippine peas something. I don't know. Thank you. Pesos. No, pesos is Mexican. Come on, man. They're on two different parts of the world. Philippine currency. Oh, peso. Oh, okay. Peso. All right. Yeah, I learned something today. It's called peso. Isn't it always safe to buy gold rather than short gold? Because when gold price falls, at least you can average it out. I think those ideas are, I don't think those are very good ideas. I mean, if you're looking on a high time frame, like monthly and weekly and quarterly, I think then it makes sense to buy gold every month or like every 3-4 months. But like looking at smaller time frames and buying gold, nah, I don't think that's a good idea. Like, how much are you going to average out on the 1 hour time frame based on the monthly and weekly? So it's the start of the month here. So I would say maybe, like, you know, go easy on the start of the month. We got NFP tomorrow. We got unemployment news coming in later on today. So you got to be very careful here. GA price moved up, 10 pips caught. Nice. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Where's that chart? Oh, it's not here yet. Oh yeah, right here. Like this range here. So you got this range in. Beautiful. We got the UK bank holiday tomorrow too. Let's see here. Yeah, we got pound holiday, CAD holiday, euro holiday, Swiss holiday. Yeah, the only thing I'm going to be there tomorrow for is going to be NFP. FOMC. Took your advice and entered buys there. Oh, nice. Yeah, that was pretty good. Why is the last day and the first day of the month different? They're not different. It's just based off of, like, you know, discipline-wise. I mean, you got to start the month strong, right? Either start with a no trade or start with one trade or 2 trades, but, you know, not with the entire army of trades. You know, sometimes you tend to take like 10 trades, 11 trades. I mean, no, man. You got to be very, very careful. Can you take a look at CHF-JPY, Swiss yen? We have to pay to be in the gulag after 15th April? Yes. Man, people are getting worried about $20. Crazy. Yeah. It's just $20. March was phenomenal for me. Been on a killer winning streak, and I hadn't. Why do they have to pay? Did I miss something? What did I miss? Oh, nothing. Don't worry. You guys in the Zoom don't have to worry about anything. So what's this? Oh, wrong chart. Wrong chart sent by Joshua. All right, let's see over here. Yeah, we're just ranging here today. I'm gonna wait for this news here and see what's going on. Don't worry, guys, in the Gulag, this is a quality control measure, right? People who are serious, they will be here to stay after 15th April. And the ones who are not serious, they won't be here anymore. So this is a quality control measure to delicately remove everyone else. All right, looks like it's gonna continue dropping here towards 1710. I'm personally going to be looking to see if we break below 1710 to continue further down. All right, let's take a look at AUD USD. AUD USD downtrend, waiting for break of the low. Oh, this looks pretty good. AUD USD is in a range over here too because we got support, you got resistance, we got news coming in. So yeah, we're ranging at this point. But once we break below, we got clean candles moving down. All right, see here, this is a gold buy chart. Gold buy after price breaks the high of the previous candle. This candle broke the high of the previous candle. Okay, you took a high. Closed 50% when candle closed bearish. Okay, perfect. Closed another 50% when we came down. I guess you needed to keep this minor resistance in mind over here as well. But at the same time, you managed risk, so the outcome was pretty good at that point. Let's take a look at this area over here. Pound yen, enter if the candle breaks the high of the last bullish candle. I think maybe look for a better trade. You know, I mean, look for something better. You know, maybe look for buys above 152.800 rather than trying to. This is a great example of forcing a trade, right? Because look, if you're looking for buys above this area, of course, price can move up. But look, this is 9-11 pips away. This is a very, very bad idea. Maybe look for buys above 152.800 where it's above resistance. You got clean traffic on the left hand side, because this is going to get extremely, extremely difficult. And if I only had one trade to take, I wouldn't execute on this area and anticipate price to move up through all this garbage over here to the left hand side. I would wait for price to break above 152.800 to continue moving up. So, I mean, you really got to pick and choose what trades are you going to focus on, because sometimes those ideas may work and you're going to think, okay, they always work, but they don't always work. That's the hardest part about trading. Just waiting. Just wait. I'm waiting for price to break above 152.800 because I know after that I'm going to have a much easier, price will have a much easier time moving bullish, rather than trying to fight all this consolidation here. Can we open an account now on Dominion Markets? Not right now. Not right now. We still have a few things to connect. And then the announcement is going to be made for you guys. So then, yeah, I think it's going to be pretty good. Are you looking for sales below 152.360? Yes. 320, this area, 320, 340. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Looks like gold is also coming down towards 1710 over here. Have you ever wondered if you only collect money for the next 10 years and suddenly the money loses its value? What do we do? Yeah, that's why you don't collect money. You invest money. You invest money in property. If you have money laying around, you put that in any property. It's going to move up with inflation. That's the whole point. When we start hoarding money and investing money are two very different things. When you hoard money, you're basically it's losing value over 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years. But when you invest it somewhere, it's not losing its value. The value is going up. It's like the same thing as if either you can buy a supercar for $250,000, which will basically bleed money, bleed gas, bleed insurance, depreciation, or you can take that 250 and put it in a house which is going to give you money every month, right? So that's like a choice you have to make. I honestly did the same thing. Like there are small towns here, from like small towns you can buy homes for like 250,000, 280,000, 270,000. So that money is basically parked in that house, which is paying you per month, you know, because you got the rent coming in. So that's basically 250 somewhere, and now you're getting monthly payments on that 250. Plus also, you know, with appreciation, that value is also going up slowly. But when you have the money in a liability, in a car, man, this is bleeding money at that point. I don't think that's a very sensible thing to do over there. Can you explain how long you should wait before going into a trade after the candle passes resistance, 15 minute or 30 minute? That's a pretty good question. What I would want to do is, let's say we have a resistance at 152, 800, you know. What I would want to do is, since there's one rejection, two rejections here, I would want to see a candle close above this area. Oops. I would want to see a candle close above this area to give me some sort of confirmation that, okay, now maybe the next candle can continue moving up. And that's where I'm going to execute when that candle closes bullish. Does property work in Turkey? Well. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. You got a support down at this point. We got resistance over here. Looks like this was a fake out on a 30-minute time frame. Possible wick fill. Yep, I think this is a 1 hour wick fill here. Once we break above, you know, 1949. That looks good. We got a support over here too, and you got clean candles below this area. Labeling is good. Ideas are good. Just got to see if it plays out here or not. All right. Please consider inviting Rand Howell to the streams. Check him out. He's in the trading. He's a trading psychologist. Okay. Rand Howell. Let's take a look at Rand Howell over here. Trader psychologist, more than 15 years of practice. Oh, nice. Gonna see if we can get in touch with Rand Howell. Let's take a look at this gold sell. Oh, very nice. Entry slipped, but still okay. Enter a sell after 1 hour, broke the low, aiming price to reach next support. Nice. Very nice, Mehdi. You got your gains here today for gold. I'm waiting for the news to come in here. Can you invite token options to the stream? Yeah, we can take a look into that. Inviting token options. Your JPY, EJ broke resistance, makes a high, comes down, creates support. If some support formed, I'll try to take a buy. Yes. We can make a high. I think we can continue moving up, so we'll see. What time frame do you draw your support resistances? Mostly on the 30-minute, 1 hour, right? So if you look over here, we're coming down to the support area. Below this area, we have a huge range for price to move in. 40 pips, 45 pips. 15-minute candle is also about to close. Got to keep in mind this minor support here. Also got to keep in mind these rejections here to the left-hand side as well. Hey, Raja, trade or go home? Oh, no. Oh, hey, Raja. So from 15th April, we must pay $20 a month for watching the stream with you guys. And where will we purchase for the live stream? Oh, nice. We got one person willing to pay. Nice. Don't worry, guys. That was a little test for you guys. That was a little test for April Fools. We got a lot of people crying. We got a lot of people happy about it. Man, it's just amazing to see different reactions. You know, some were crying, some were happy, some were like, oh, it's $20. Man, you guys are happy paying $100 a month for crappy signals, but when it comes to those live streams, it's like your soul starts leaving your body. Oh no, $20. Oh, where am I gonna get $20 from? Damn. You can easily make $20 from the stream. You guys are just greedy. This is why you guys are in the gulag, man. Most of you guys. That's why you're in the gulag here. You can easily make $20 from the stream a month, but still people cry, whine, and complain. Don't worry, one day it's going to start. And that's not going to be the April Fool's Day. Today was April Fool's. Wow. I wonder how many guys went to your mom and dad, hey, I need a credit card. Gotta pay $20. Oh, someone said I'd rob my mom and dad to watch a stream. All right. Let's see here. What's the minimum deposit to deposit in Dominion? It's going to be $100. All right. Can you take a look at this UJ buy? Let's take a look over here. UJ buy. Plan to enter buy after one candle, close above resistance, and there's still a retest on that resistance. Yeah, looks good. Looks good. You know, they're expecting good numbers for unemployment claims for 8:30. And you know, if they're good numbers, which means if the numbers are low, then that makes sense for USDJPY to continue bullish here. Yeah. Gold never fails to amaze me. Reach target, then straight rejection. Yes. That's why you don't hold gold. You get what you can take from gold, and then you say, all right, gold, see ya. You see you tomorrow, gold. Will you look to have the trading fraternity? He trades options and does real estate. He is live on YouTube every day. Really motivational guy. Oh, nice. Yeah, we're gonna take a look into that. Someone donated 140 ZAR. What did Leak Mabules say about the NFP? Leak Mabules. Ah, I see what's going on over here. Nah, not falling for that again. Man. Man, you guys take advantage of me being a foreigner here. That was someone's name. Bules. B-U-L-E-S. How you manage your trade yesterday at NYSE? You went from 10 pips and didn't close, and went down to your price, but you're still waiting for next candle, got 15 pips. How did you do it? It was very simple. So let's take a look over here yesterday. Yesterday was right here. Yeah, yesterday was right here. Price broke up. And it was pretty easy. I mean, look, price broke up, and we knew that if price was going to break up about 152.500, it's going to go towards 152.750. So it was the end of the month too. Price went up, put stops at break even, and just let it run. It ran. I think it closed at around 720, 730. I don't remember, but it was very clean. Moved up. We anticipated this. We talked about this before we left the stream, and I'm pretty glad it played out the way it did. 152.800 is a very strong resistance. Today is the start of the new monthly candle. I think we should go down for the bottom wick on the new candle, then make support on the daily, and then break up. Yeah, that's true. That could happen, right? That could very well happen. But now we have to look at the smaller time frame zones to really justify that move here, right? Because look, if we break below, let's say 152, 330 or 300, right? Then we know there's a high probability for price to continue down, and that move down could be the monthly candle going bearish, right? Below this area. I mean, we're going to go bearish below 152, 450, but they're like consolidation zones on the smaller time frames. So that's why then we can take a look at this area here, 152, 300, where price can go down and make a bottom wick. So for monthly candle to go down, we would need the smaller time frame zones to kind of like break for price to move in that direction. What's this? We wait 3 to 4 hours in NY session for volume to kick in, but when NYSE opens, NASDAQ and other US indices definitely move with strong volume. Should we not trade NASDAQ for like half hour and call it a day? I mean, I've never looked at NASDAQ, and I think if I look at NASDAQ, I don't know. I can't trade NASDAQ because, you know, it opens at NYSE and I'm busy at that time. You know, I'm having breakfast, busy with family, so that time basically doesn't suit me to trade. Have you took gold buys yesterday above 1690? I took that TP and slipped 20 pip profits. Oh, nice. Yeah, yesterday was a solid move right here on gold above 1690. Remember we talked about this 1690, 1689 on gold? Man, this thing just broke up and continued moving. That was a monster move yesterday. Hey, good morning, Andrew. Nice to see you here today. Do you trade volatility? Yes. We aim for volume and volatility to come in. No, Ben is not coming back on the stream again. We invited Ben on the stream and he basically brought Dover with him. You know, so Ben and Dover, they can't come back on the stream again. Gulag trying to be smart over here. Ooh, someone donated $5. Been watching your stream for 6 months. Just had my first $2,000 day yesterday. Oh, wow. First $2,000 day yesterday. That deserves a round of applause for you. We can send some clapping there for you. Nice, nice, nice. What's your thoughts on gold? Waiting. We got unemployment claims coming in. Unemployment claims coming in, so we're waiting at this point to see what happens. Thanks for the love and support from the cent code. Enjoy your lunch with Jimin. Oh, nice. Thank you for 10 pounds. I guess me and Jimin are going to go lunch for today again. Oh, so these 10 pounds were sent by these guys here from the cent code. They were generous enough to send me one of their products to cent code. I think it's oh, the website is not popping up over here. Thecentcode.com. Is it thecentcode.com? It's not popping up. Oh. I guess it's this one right here. Yes. These diffusers for cars. Amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing diffusers for cars. I use it every day. Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Okay, let's see here. How do you evaluate unemployment when it comes to Forex prices? It's not about evaluating unemployment. It's about looking to see what numbers they're looking at, right? So let's take a look at this on Thursday. So basically, they're forecasting 678,000 basically claims filed. The previous one was 684,000. So when a number is low, this means less people file for unemployment claims. So this means that it should be good for the US dollar. And this should mean that gold should drop. So now we're anticipating gold to drop based on the forecasted number that they're expecting to come out with around 8:30 a.m. You know, so that's what we're waiting for here. Because based on this, we're going to see whether gold's going to move or not. But at the same time, we got NFP tomorrow too. Yeah. Do you think the news will affect gold to drop as the forecast number? I mean, we'll see what happens. It's very tough to say at this point. We'll see what happens. But we do know is that we broke below support, 1713, came down, made a low, now we're retracing. Now, if we're retracing to come down or what, I have no idea, so we'll have to wait for news. Which diffuser scent is your favorite? You know what, James? I have no idea. Whatever bottles came with it, I put that bottle in and I place it in the car. And it just brings out this smoke, and man, that smoke gets rid of everything. Gets rid of your, your marijuana smoke, any kind of smoke, any kind of smell. People who sit in your car who don't shower gets rid of that smell. I mean, everything. Honestly, gets rid of every bad smell. In gold, also below 1710, we broke the 4-hour low. That should push price nicely. Let's take a look on the 4-hour. Yeah, it's still over there. I mean, we still got to see how it's going to react to news over here now. We got news in about an hour here almost, so let's just see what happens. I'm new here. May I know what's the actual strategy? Well, Mr. Raj Siddharth Marumdi, there's no such strategy. It's all about trying to read candles, trying to wait for volume to push in. Because for example, let's say we're looking at pound yen over here, right? Look, pound yen is below resistance and we're basically waiting for this resistance to break, 152.800. Let's just make the zone a little bit thinner. It's kind of fat over here. Yeah, let's put it right here. So potential buys. Buys above 152.800. That's what I'm looking at here today. Potential buys above 152.800. And then we can continue moving bullish. Have you ever thought about handling other people's accounts? Something like portfolio management? Yeah, I did that in the past, but didn't really work out. People didn't really understand what their risk was, what was their risking. So I gave the money back. I was like, hey, you know what? This is not for you, and this is not for me. So I stopped at that point. It's a lot of stress. It's another thing trading your own account, and it's a whole nother thing when you're trading someone else's money. It's a different thing. That's another level of stress, which I don't think it's a good idea. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. How do you get sniper entry? Sniper entries are gotten after many tries. All right, so on the hourly, there were clean candles here, okay, but the 30-minute has a zone which retested previous consolidation. Doesn't that mean this zone is strong zone? No, not really, because from what I can see is that there was this consolidation here, right? You got resistance, we had support over here, and this candle kind of broke out. I think this was a retracement on the 1-hour candle, making a lower wick and then continuing up. I think that's what it was right over here. So I think on the 15-minute, you may see some more structure over here to kind of give you some more idea what if this was like a retest to continue back up. Don't you think it will work now? No, I don't think it will work now. I know myself and I know people, and knowing myself and knowing people, I don't think it's going to work. Why don't you try Naga or other platforms which allow people to auto-copy you? No, based on the reasons I said, I don't think it's a good idea. But, things can change, so we'll see what happens. But not for anything in the near future that I'm starting to trying to do that at all. Wow, gold is straight rejection from that support. Straight rejection. Mr. Borgar Rabi sent a chart here. Let's take a look at this chart. Mr. Borgar Rabi, let's see here. So we got pound yen price collecting orders on the range, looking for buys above 152.500, 152.800. Nice, looks good. Looks good. Just gotta wait over here now. Let's take a look at GU. Ooh, GU is also ranging here. We got resistance on GU right here on the 30-minute time frame. So let's put a yellow line here. I put these yellow lines to give me some sort of a visual clue, like, you know, of what to kind of like wait for. Oh, you know what? One more thing is gonna happen once we start charging for the streams is people stop copying us because they'll have to pay. They'll be like, "Oh, can't tune into Raja Bank streams anymore. Can't copy anymore." But you know, that was all jokes, April Fool's jokes and stuff like that. I like to joke around with you guys. You guys are like my little brothers and sisters. All right, let's take a look at this here. Can you have a look at this chart here, please? Let's see. Let's see what's going on here. This is pound Swiss. Got a lower entry. Oh, you got an entry right down over here. Nice. See, if I was here, if I was looking at this, I'd maybe have an entry right here once you start breaking above the high of the previous candle. But you got it down over here. You trusted the support and you got your entry. Nice. I would say it's a very nice trade. Should I have taken partials, move stop loss to break even and let it run after call positions? Yeah, that's good. I think if you so whenever you get scared in a position, it's always better to close out maybe like, 50%, 80% and let the rest run. That's what I do all the time. So whenever you get scared, close partials and let the rest run. Oh, Mr. Yashwant Verma donated 25 rupees. 25 rupees coming straight from India. Nice, nice. Can Indians trade in your brokerage? Yes, only if Modi allows you to. Otherwise, it's going to be a problem, man. Modi has to allow you guys. The 30-minute candles have closed. New 30-minute candles have started right now. Yeah, it's a very delicate situation here now these days. Ranging, new monthly candle has started, so we got to be very, very patient here. GW donated 5 Singaporean dollars. Oh. Alright, let's see what's going on. In Poland, we have a system to register to get vaccinated at midnight. The government made a joke and young people could register. Now they are undoing it because it was a mistake. Oh, the government is playing April Fool's jokes with you guys. First they're playing games with the lockdowns and now they're playing April Fool's jokes. Man. Alright. We got GU. Let's take a look at your JPY here. Let's remove all analysis from this point. Let's take a look on the 4-hour time frame. 4 hours breaking above resistance here. Trying to move bullish. We have a resistance at 133.50 here as well. Looking on the 1 hour. Yeah, seems like we did make a high. We're kind of like retesting this support. Looking at 30-minute time frame. The only problem with the 30-minute time frame is that the candle here closed with no wick on the top. So that's a bit of an issue at that point, right? So it closed with no wick on the top. I mean, if it makes a low and then it starts breaking its own high, I think that's the point it's going to start moving up. But in the first half, the first quarter of this candle, closed with no wick on the top, it gets pretty risky to take a buy at this point. But if you do measure this range above, like 130.070, let's say, it's like a 10 pip range. It's extremely tight, 10 pips. 10 pip is too tight because 10 pip minus spread, it's just not worth it. Did you know that in the UK they passed a law that means they're allowed to take the organs of all dead people unless you sign against it online? To be honest, I wouldn't mind having my organs given away to other people. If they're working and I'm dead, I mean, why not? If that can save someone else's life or make their life better, I wouldn't mind that. Before dying, take a bunch of steroids and really make the organs powerful. So then they open it, they're like, oh damn, these are some monster organs over here. Oh, look at the size of that heart. Some monster heart. All right, who needs it? Two people, two people. Yeah, I was watching this documentary where they do tests on these bodybuilders, and they notice that their hearts, their livers, their kidneys are much bigger than regular people because of all the use of the those drugs there. Oh, Mr. Yanan donated 40 rupees. Where can you watch that? I think this was a long time ago, maybe like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, somewhere on YouTube. I was on the weird side of YouTube. Like, when you're watching YouTube videos and you find yourself you're in the dark side of the YouTube, you're like, oh, what am I watching? All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. This is a USD CHF. Question: if the next one or two candles break resistance right here, should I wait for the close on 30-minute or wait for the cross of the previous high for impulse entry? So you have good buys labeled here, right? So you got a resistance right here. I think you would need to see I think you would need to see a candle close above this area, right? So basically what you're looking at is you're looking to see that if you can get a candle to close above this resistance right here, because these candles couldn't close above this price, so you want a candle to close above this price, giving you confirmation that okay, now the next candles can continue moving up. That's what you would want to see at that point. Do you sell signals? Well, Mr. Coco Drip, I tried selling signals for the live streams, but the Gulag, they didn't like it, so now it's free. Let's see here. I want to start trading, but I don't know which broker to use. Do you have any recommendation, please? I think if you're in, now I'm not sure where you are, but if you are in somewhere like, let's say Europe or whatever, I would say IC Markets is pretty good. They got really good spreads. You got Traders Domain. I'm launching my own platform, Dominion Markets, from Monday. So, so you got a lot of options over there. My first brokerage was IC Markets. Amazing, best experience I had with IC Markets. This one time I was down 30,000, their servers locked up, it wasn't working, and they refunded me the whole thing. They're like, okay, there was a problem on our end, and you have proof that there was a problem on our end, your end was working fine, and they gave me the money back. They're like, okay, no problem, man, here you go. I was like, oh, wow. They're actually giving money back to me because, there was an issue. Yeah. So yeah, I rate that. I rate good customer service. How was your Vantage FX? That was also pretty good. But the whole problem is these Australian brokers now, their leverage is being reduced. That's the thing. So now they're moving on to offshore offices and stuff like that. If you still want to use higher leverage. Were you using magic keys when that happened? No, it was actually pound yen. It was pound interest rates, right? So I had this news account. So on that account, I was only trade news. I would just full margin news. I grew that account from $1,200 to around 34,000, and it was interest rates on pound yen. And I took a buy. I had a buy stop actually. Price went up. I had a 30 lot open, price went up, activated the buy stop, went in profits for about 15 pips. I tried closing it, I couldn't close it, price came down, I put my stops at break even, price crossed my stop loss and fell below the stop loss. And once it fell below the stop loss, I'm like, what's going on over here, IC Markets? And then it started falling and falling and falling, and my drawdown went from 3,000 to 5,000 to 10,000, and then I think at the end my drawdown was like negative 44,000. And it just kept falling. I was like, okay, this is a sell. It's going to continue going down. And guys started taking sells, and I couldn't do anything, right? I was just in negative. And then they basically closed my position, and then I called them like, hey guys, like something happened over here. And then they looked into it, they investigated for about 4 days, and they're like, okay, you know what? Yeah, this is a problem on our end. Like, you basically showed us there's no problem on your end, so here you go. We're gonna give you back your 30 grand. Then I'm like, what about the profits? I was in 15 pip profits. They're like, just be happy for giving you the money back. I'm like, all right, makes sense, makes sense. For the last 2 weeks, I really had to experience again that managing risk is essential. My win rate remains 70%. Oh, nice. For whatever reasons, I was not that focused on risk management. Currently in a small drawdown on my funding talent account. Compared to last month, I was up 8% by this stage. Oh, nice. Yeah, man. I mean, managing risk is the key. Managing risk is the key. If you can be excited about managing risk, your profits are going to be much bigger than your losses. That's the key to keeping your losses small. You know, the key to keeping your losses small is not over trading, is not trading every setup you see. I mean, if you remove your stop loss because you're in drawdown, man, your loss is not going to get smaller. It's just going to get bigger and bigger. When are Magic Keys going to be shipped out because there's a chip shortage? We're looking at around the second week of April. How you prove it was IC Markets issue? Because my internet was working fine. I made a video on it. You know, I basically made a video of their MetaTrader frozen, and then I moved my camera to the other screen. I'm like, look, the Google is working, the websites are working, and oh, MetaTrader frozen. And they looked at some logs. They're like, okay, you know what? It was a problem on your end. I'm like, all right, perfect. I mean, it's just good business, right? It's good business. You have a client who trades there, and if there's a problem, you know, and if they can kind of like prove there's a problem on, if it wasn't a problem on their end, then I mean, it's just good. Even if they said, hey, listen, we're gonna give you back 50%, I would have been like, okay, perfect. You know, something's better than nothing. But if they say no, we're not gonna give you back anything, man, I'd be like, what? What do you mean? You know? So I mean, that's something you gotta look out for. From the last 10 days, I had 9 wins and 1 loss. Oh, I think it's pretty good. Or should I increase my lot size? I think maybe continue on for this for about maybe 2 more weeks, 3 more weeks, and then look to see if you can increase your lot size. If you can't increase your lot size, I think it's going to be much better to kind of like deposit some more money into. That's what I did. Like, you know, once I found consistency a little bit, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to just put more money in. I faced some issues with IC markets. There's a gold spike of 1,000 pips, but the thing is I had stop loss. My friend had the same trade, but he did not use stop loss. So IC markets did not return money to him. Yeah, exactly. Because if he used the stop loss and price moved and it didn't activate the stop loss, then there's a problem on their end. But if he had no stop loss, then it just can't do anything about it. That's why it's really important to have a stop loss. You know, because if things go against you and the stops don't get triggered, then you know, then you have a case. You have a case. This is gold 30-minute chart. I grabbed this trade on London Open. I missed the trade once it started breaking the bearish candle. Was my confirmation to enter. Reviewed the sessions ideal. Thank you. Oh, nice. Yeah, this is pretty good. We broke above this area, 1715, and continued on. Very nice. We're just waiting here for news here now. We got around 45 minutes left. Oh, we got a sad vaccine story. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Like all the yeah, we're not going to talk about that, but yeah, it's not the way it's happening right now. Slow ass markets, yes. Which other currency do you prefer other than GJ? Other than GJ, if I wasn't trading GJ, I'd be possibly looking at maybe GA, maybe pound AUD, or even gold. If I wasn't trading GJ, maybe I'd be looking at, gold or pound AUD. Are you planning on trading the news? No, I'm not planning on trading the news. I'm afraid of trading gold. How do I master it? You master it by just looking at it. Just gotta look at it. Just gotta look at it every day at the same time and try to see how you could have gotten a certain move on gold. That's the best way to learn gold. It takes a long time, it's boring, and it's pointless, but that's the way you learn. Because you got the support down over here now at 1710, and if we break the support, we know price can continue down based on a 1 hour time frame here. So you just gotta look at it. Look at it for the next 2 months, 3 months. It's gonna take a long time, but it's at the end of the day, it's worth it. So give trading time. Look, now we're coming back up over here now in this range before the news, so we're gonna see what happens. You master gold by blowing your account. I saw your video on Instagram. It was an early video where you say my name is Raja Banks and throw money on the camera. Probably you are high. You have changed a lot now. Yes, thank you. That was a very immature part of me. But that will never happen again. Ever, ever. I mean, like in the mindset I am in right now, that would never happen with this mindset. That was in the beginning, when things were going good in the start, and I was like, oh, nice. I think that was the time when I was doing like 5 lots and 3 lots and 4 lots. And when you move into like 4 lots and 3 lots, man, things start coming in so fast. You're just like, man, what should I do with all this? It just starts coming in super, super duper fast. And that was a time when my credit wasn't good enough to get anything either. So I just kept anything. Couldn't even spend it on stuff. But now credit is good. But I think all that also came with some sort of a blessing as well, because now my credit is good, plus I'm also in a very good space mentally too. All right, let's take a look at this. Pound AUD looking for buys above 1.82300. Looks good. You have a support over here. If we break the support, we can continue down. Yeah, looks good. We can continue down. Lucky. 100%. 100%. This is a pretty good range here in pound AUD. Any idea about getting a signal? No. Right now, there are no signals to give out. Probably above, 152.800 on pound yen, but other than that, I don't think there are any signals to give out at this point. What about blueberry markets? I have no idea. I've never used blueberry markets, so I don't know.
I use blueberry markets.
Oh, nice. How is it?
No, it's perfect. I mean, their customer service is on point every time. Even when I remember one day I had some issue. I don't remember what exactly, but there was something on my end that I messed up, and they didn't have a solution ready for me. But they gathered the team and start thinking about ideas outside of their rules and stuff to help me out and fix my issue. And they did.
Nice. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
The spreads are crazy on the professional account. I usually get around like half a pip, 5 points 5 points spread on GJ and about 1 pip on gold.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's pretty good. See, that's what it is. Like once you have good customer service, you know, and then now you're gonna tell 10 people about it. So yeah, nice. So there we go. We got some good reviews over there. Let's check this GU chart over here. We got buys above this area, looking good. I think you can also look for buys above this zone you've drawn right here, the gray zone you have down here at 1.37, whatever that price is, 920, 930. Yeah, maybe, oh, maybe this is not enough range. 17 pips, 15 pips, but above this area you got a bigger range. But it's also pound USD, so you got to be careful about, you know, the news as well. Because unemployment numbers are going to affect pound USD a lot. I have an offside question. Was your wife with you when you were going through all the up and down? Oh yeah, of course. 100%. What do you think about... Oh, I don't think about many things over here now. Quick question about buying above 152, 800. I see to the left past that there are a lot of wicks. Is that something to be mindful of? You know, above 152, 800, can't really see anything on the 1 hour time frame. The only thing we can see is on the 4 hour time frame. And if you look at that on the 4 hour time frame, it's basically, in my head, I just see clean moves going all the way up towards, 150 to 900. Like, that's what I'm anticipating. Because if price is going to break above, 150 to 800, I'm expecting volume to carry price all the way towards, 150 to 900, 150 to 950, and that's it. That's all what I'm anticipating. I don't care about the wicks over there. All I care about the 4 hour having clean candles to the left hand side and anticipating volume to push price through those levels moving up. Because this is a strong zone here, right? And if we can break above it, then we're going to go towards the next strong zone. Would you have traded the current range in gold with confidence of price respect the fake out and expecting pre-NY volume push bullish? No, I wouldn't have. I have my area marked below 1710 for price to move down because you got clean candles there to the left hand side.
Hey, Raja.
Hey, Tito.
Hey, one time even with Blueberry Markets, I had a conversation with a customer service and then I gave the person a review. I just said helpful, that's it. And a few days after, they sent me an email about your review and helpful, like what I wrote. We want to give you $25 of Amazon gift card.
Oh, nice.
Okay, thank you. They're crazy, man.
Yeah, nice. That's good.
What would they have given you if you had said very helpful?
Hopefully a bag of donuts.
All right, let's take a look at this. This is your JPY from the London session. Let's take a look over here. Price closed bearish, held trade. Took a trade right over here. Oh, nice. Secured 80% at 10 pips. So you basically entered right over here, and you held it on the 15-minute time frame. Good, very good, very good. We got 40 minutes left here for unemployment claims here coming on. Our province is also going into lockdown here on Saturday again. Surprise, surprise, surprise lockdown. Third wave coming in. The only place I haven't seen go in lockdown is the US. Man, you guys are open there. Every Washington open, Miami, Florida open.
To move Miami, brother.
Man, it's crazy. New Zealand is always open. Texas is wide open. Wow. I honestly don't like Canada at all, man. Closing everything down. Might move to Texas for a couple of months. Imagine move to Texas a couple of months because Canada's shutting down and come back when they reopen again. Anyone here have any advice for trading psychology? The best advice I can give from a trading psychology perspective is to focus on 1 or 2 trades a day. That's it. That's it. You focus on 1 or 2 trades a day and things will just come into place automatically. Just 1 or 2 trades a day. Nothing more, nothing less. Do you think same will follow in the UK as the review will be taking place on the 5th of this month? I don't know what's going to happen, man. Whatever they're trying to do, they got to hurry up and get it done. You know, enough with these lockdowns. Like, people are getting sick and tired of these lockdowns. Businesses are dying. You know, people are struggling. The rich are just getting richer, lining their pockets with these. I mean, it's just madness. Yesterday, they said that they'll build a vaccine facility in Ontario, which is going to cost $925 million. And I'm thinking, what kind of a facility is going to cost $1 billion? Man, $925 million. I was like, wow. A lot of people are getting their pockets lined up with that.
I saw in the news here, being in Canada, the Ontario, Rob Ford, your gym's open and all that, but now in Ontario, they're going to shut everything down hard. So
Yeah.
get ready.
Yeah, this is going to be the hardest lockdown of all lockdowns now. All right, looks like gold is breaking above 1715 over here. Gold is doing a ping pong game here at this point.
I think gold, the easiest play on gold is going to be looking for buys, to be honest. At this point, if you look at the 4-hour candle, we just got a rejection from that support on the 4-hour, the 1710. And if we're rejecting that level, basically, we just need gold to stay above the 1716 so far, where the price is right now. So the next hourly candle is going to be interesting if we get on any pullback toward 1715 and start respecting that area, to continue looking for buys to retest that level 1720. 1720 has been acting as a strong level, so from previous data. So expect some sort of issues around 1720, but the moment we have a 15-minute candle closing outside that 1720 is going to be a quick move, because you basically have all this information here in this range. You know, this is a nice target, but you will need to wait a little bit in this area right here to have the safe buys toward this area. That's going to be the easiest play so far. What you don't want to see with the next 1-hour candle is pulling just a little bit to at least the half of this 1-hour candle, and then from there can easily look for buys to retest that resistance. And if we start breaking a strong that resistance, then it's gone. So it's going to the next 1725 at least. And it doesn't matter if it already moved a lot, today and yesterday. We know that gold, when it's trending hard, so it's good. I like the retest that we did on the 4-hour candle. Support at 1710 is rejecting it, so
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah, it makes sense, because if we're rejecting that, then there's a high probability for it to fill the wick up over here too.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly that, brother.
Even if GJ closed above 152.800, what would be your TP? 152.950. That's the high on the 4-hour time frame back from 2018. So I think that's going to be a pretty good idea there. Wow, we're breaking above 1717 to potentially continue on. 1718, 1719. How much is this range? Oh, 17, 18 pips over here, not bad. Alright, let's take a look at this chart. This is, oh, gold 15-minute chart. Price closed with no top wick. So waiting for a candle to break the high. Nice, entered and 10 pips secured. Beautiful. If the stop can go to break even and secure 90%, you know, maybe you can get a bigger move, but still good. Secured positions, first day of the new month. I think it's good at that point. I have $10,000, Raja. I want to give you 50-50 profit sharing. No. Probably not. Here in Italy is 1 month that is all closed and shut down. Oh. I think this will shut down for even longer. They're saying for 1 month, but I think it's going to be dragged into 2 months, 3 months, and then it's going to be dragged into, well, unless everyone gets vaccinated, we're not opening up again. Supply chains are going to break down, and yeah, like a lot of things are going to happen.
What are you doing in the gulag, Ted? Come on, man. Shit.
Assuming you're waiting for a bottom wick.
Well, at this point,
yes.
I don't know if we're gonna get it.
Always does this.
Yeah, but the closing on that 15-minute candle was strong enough above the previous 15-minute structure, and man, it's gonna retest at high.
So did you have stop loss below the current 15, the open 15-minute?
Yeah, I mean the stop loss has to be somewhere below the previous structure. Hold on, give me a second. I'm not, if you didn't get the move at the break of this area right here, impulsive move, then at this point there's no there. If you want to catch it from here, your stop loss has to be below this area right here, because the moment this candle is retracing, then it's gonna retrace all the way back to over this area. So better losing at least 10 pips than risking 30, But at this point, yeah, the way the gold is moving is basically a straight move to the upside to retest this area because of the 15-minute candle. But it's really risky at this point.
Yeah, I agree with that. So if you go into the higher time frame on gold, if you go to the 4-hour time frame, so what we can do with that is it'll tell the story here. The 4-hour time frame, you can see we had this area here where we basically had that deep retest, and that was the pullback for the London session. And then when you jump into the hour candles, you know that this support is being held, and you can then anticipate that the 4-hour candle is going to go bullish based on then the hour candle. So if you look at the hour candle at that point, and that's to your point, Kerwin, as well, as soon as the 15-minute candles started flipping bullish, you had that opportunity. So what I was looking at with gold, sorry I didn't jump on the stream, was this area over here. Once we're able to break above that area, and you're basically, if you open up 2 windows, right? So normally I have, because I have a 3-monitor setup, I have, multiple time frames open. So I'm watching the candle as it starts to build. And you can start to anticipate, through experience, and you say to yourself, okay, well, this hourly candle now has created a tail on the bottom, and it should drive up. What's the catalyst for the drive up? Obviously, it's coming towards the New York session. Now, the difference here in this situation is the fact that we had a massive pullback through, you know, the middle of London to give us now, you know, like Kerwin said, the retest of the highs from previous. So with that information, you can then anticipate and say to yourself, okay, if I know that this candle pulled back on the 4 hour and held support, we should then start to drive up. Your confluence on that, as well as, you know, you have a daily bullish candle. We have a new monthly candle opening, so we know that if we're going to go bearish for the month of April, we're going to have to drive up a bit for the month, or for the beginning of the month. So this is your, you know, sort of your pull up on the monthly candle as well. So putting all those ideas together, and then thinking to yourself as well, future planning, saying, hey, tomorrow's NFP, if NFP is going to be good for the US dollar, everyone's going to drive gold up to, you know, 1718, 1720, 1725, just to dump it tomorrow back into the 1600s. And then that would then bring your monthly candle into a bearish formation at that point, because you've created a top wick with the last 2 days of bullish momentum to then start to drive everything down bearish. You know, if you're going to try and tell that story. Now, obviously, we don't know until things happen, but if you have that sort of idea in your head, you can then play this counter trend where you can say, okay, the first couple of days of April, you know, we may have bullish movement up, you know, past 1720, 1725, and I'm looking for those moves, and I'm looking for rejections from the downside to then go further up. So, I mean, if you did understand that idea, gold was an easy buy. Through the 7 a.m. candle, just waiting for that hourly candle to flip bullish at that point.
G just still ranging over here now. Still in the range. See gold small time frames. Oh, we are making this higher low over here. Price to continue 1719. If the unemployment claims, whatever that number comes in, I think if it comes even lower, yeah, it's very tough to say where gold's going to go based on that, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think you're right there, Raja. The idea here is take advantage of these moves, you know, as they start to form, and then, you know, you'll know that the North American session, as volume starts to come in, we're going to get a little bit of a pullback. And then what you're doing is you're waiting on the same time here. So you've got your 5-minute chart open. You know, you can take advantage of that push up, or you can wait for, like, you know, the first 15-minute candle to form. And what you're looking for, I mean, obviously, is a wick to the downside to then drive further up. You know, the tough part is when you see the current candle on the 15-minute time frame, it's got no body on the bottom, like it's got no wick on the bottom. So it's hard for you to then play off that candle. Going into like a 5-minute time frame, you're able to see that there's a wick down, and then, you know, we'll have a drive up, but that's more of an advanced move. So like if you're more comfortable trading gold, you can trade off the 5-minute candle, but you have to realize a wick fill will be 10 or 15 pips at the 5-minute candle. You then got to get out. You can't just stay in there and hope that this 15-minute candle is going to blast off, because a lot of times it may reject, pull down, and then the next 15-minute candle creates the bottom wick and then drives up, and that's where you have a little bit more of a confirmation of the continuous upside at that point. Yeah, if you were watching the smaller time frames on gold, like the 5-minute time frames, and putting it together with the hour time frame and the 30-minute time frame, in the last, say, 45 minutes, you would have had an easy gold trade at like from 17.13 all the way up to 17.18.
Okay, let's see here. Much love from Caribbean. What's your view on FTMO traders without good capital to trade? Appreciate the stream. Yeah, I think if you're talking about, FTMO and stuff like that, you really have to be consistent first on your own accounts before you go into like, any funding accounts or companies like that. All right, before the news, we are coming down over here now. We shall see if we respect 1715 and continue moving up, or do we break 1715 and continue moving down?
Yeah, all depending on how this 5-minute candle close, then you will have a deep retest toward the 1715 if this 5-minute candle close bearish where the price is right now. Now, if this 5-minute candle is just basically doing a retest to the previous structure and the 5-minute candle body close inside the previous one, side by side with the previous 5-minute candle bullish, then you have the big chance that we're gonna get a wick fill to the upside, because at this point this pullback was just basically grabbing some liquidity to drive price toward this area right here. But you want to see the body of this candle basically closing side by side or inside this area right here, somewhere there. Now if the candle is closing below this area, most likely we're gonna get a break below and we're gonna retest, deep retest to 1715.
Deep retest.
Yeah.
All right, we got a lot of volume coming in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, and Kerwin, to your point as well, now you can see the hour candle started to, dip a bit and create a bit of a tail on gold, right? Yeah. So you have that little tail. So you now ignore the 5-minute noise and you say to yourself, okay, if on the hourly candle we've created a bit of a tail to the downside, this should give us a little bit of a move to the upside. But like you said, you got to wait a little bit to see. I mean, obviously you could, anticipate the tail on the hourly and say, okay, perfect, we're going to push up, and then put, like, say, pending orders a little bit higher, and have it push through. But once again, you're at the top. Like 1720 for me is a very scary area, because you can see on the hourly 1720 is pretty much the top of the current daily structure. So when you're playing with that area, you don't know how it's going to react there. So as a gold trader, if you are trading gold, the idea would have been, okay, I'm constantly watching my 15-minute chart, my 5-minute chart, and my hourly chart to see where supports form. So we saw support form at like 1713 essentially to drive up, and that's where we had this previously hour candle. Now with gold, what you're saying to yourself is, okay, if we do break above 1720, when we look to the left on the hourly, we do have clean traffic basically from 1721, I would say, 1719, 1720, all the way up to 1723. So you do have an opportunity after the fact. But once again, when you look at that, you'll say to yourself, okay, if we get to 1720, how does the candle structure look at that point for us to continue forward to 1723? And you have to understand that when you get to 1723, that may be your exit point, or even 1722, and you're grabbing 20 or 30 pips off that move and you're exiting, because you don't want to get stuck into the fact that maybe it whips up to 1725 within seconds and then pulls right back down into 1718, 1717, and you've lost that move. And that's the problem with gold, with a lot of people that trade it. They're looking for these big 40, 50 pip moves. And we said, like we said the other day, take your 20 or 30 pips. If the trade runs a little bit better, like it is right now, like if you were in from the previous hour, now you're at 17, 17, 17, 18, you can now extend it and you would move your stop loss below this current hourly candle. But you've taken profit from the previous hour, or you've moved your stop underneath this currently hour candle.
Yeah, man. And the good thing about the 1720 is if gold goes there, it's gonna reject it hard one more time, or it's gonna break it really hard, and that move is gonna give you at least $5, going from 1720 to 1725.
Correct. Yeah. Agreed. And that's the thing, because what you'll do is like where Raja has that top area on his chart, you can easily then turn around and say, okay, at 1718, if we hold that support and we start to see candles forming where, you know, support is being held and we start to push, you can then take advantage of that and say, okay, we're most likely today not going to break below 1718 anymore, and we're just going to continue to go up. So that could be a play as well for you as a gold trader. But once again, I mean, if you don't trade gold regularly, I don't suggest doing this. I suggest waiting till after NFP, see how the market sets up, and then leveraging that for the rest of the month for April.
"15 minutes left." Let's take a look at this 15-minute candle. It's also closing bullish. Yeah, above 1719, 1720, clean moves moving up. It's a bit of a wait over here. If a candle closes above or below an area but has a small body, can I trade it? Small body basically means low volume, right? So you can look at this 15-minute candle right here. It has a strong body, which means there was a lot of volume here in this candle. But when a candle is closing a small body candle, that means the volume is dying at that point a little bit, you know. And the way it's moving at this point, even on smaller time frames, you can kind of see that, okay, like, you know, maybe we have news in about 15 minutes. Maybe that's why it's reacting the way it is. So a better idea would be to just wait here for the news to come in. GA is also breaking down. Interesting. Let's see how big this range is. It's like a 18, 19, 20 pip range over here. Difference between volume and momentum. Momentum is basically the way, I mean, if we have a zone down at 1.81700 and we want price to come down to that zone, we need volume in the market, right? And volume is going to come in from the market about with the time. So if you look at the time right now, it's NY open. So this is the time when there's volume in the market. So now you're expecting price to continue down, right? And that movement down is going to be called momentum. Oh, look at this. Entered sells as the current candle started closing below previous 1 hour candle at that point. Let's take a look at the 15-minute time frame. I'd be a little cautious about that. You know, I'd maybe want to sell once this 15-minute candle breaks the previous candle's low. That's where I would want to sell. And then anticipate volume to continue bringing price down. Wow, I think it's going to be another character building day like yesterday. Yesterday just range for 2.5 hours, straight 2.5 hours. There was nothing but range. And then lo and behold, by NYSE Open, we had moves.
Yeah, moves are happening later the session, man.
Yeah, they're on to us now, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I just noticed the algorithms are playing, like, it's almost like they sort of adjust every couple of months. and then we have those moves where sometimes all the moves happen before the beginning of the North American session and towards the end of the end of the London session, or then we'll have no moves until like the middle of like the New York session, things like that. You can sort of see that. I think if people are paying enough attention to one pair, they'll notice like certain times of the day the algorithms just turn on for some reason. Like it's really interesting to watch, like especially during the Asian session. If, like I said, if you're watching at like 9 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 Eastern, like every 9 p.m. candle without fail, it's like the algorithms just turn on because of the China Open. And it's funny to watch because they do the exact same thing basically every day.
All right, there we go. G just breaking the low over there. This is where now you can anticipate price to continue dropping. You know, if you're in sales at this point.
GA.
Yeah, GA, pound AUD. Got like a 17, 15 pip range here. We also got news. Need this 15-minute candle to stay bearish and close bearish. So the 30-minute can close bearish. And then the next one can break it and then continue moving bearish. I actually noticed that a lot on GJ. We had a week when GJ was having moves in London close, and there are times where moves happen during NY Open and fake out. Yes, that happens too sometimes. You know, like yesterday. I mean, we had the moves at New York Stock Exchange Open. Sometimes we have moves in London Open, like, you know, during London session, and when we come to the charts for New York, it's basically just ranging at that time. And then I'm like, well, you know, we're ranging now. We just gotta wait. Where would your stop be for GA? If you don't trade GA and you're entering a trade on GA, I don't think you should be doing that. But if you're entering GA and you trade GA, I think the stop should be probably around, I would say like 1.82, I don't know, 82040, 82040. Maybe that, somewhere in the middle of a range, because then you're not expecting price to continue back in the range. But since we have news here in 10 minutes, I think it's going to be better to wait for the 30-minute candle to close. Only because we got news, you know, and we don't know how price is going to react to that news event, especially on GA also, because like your news won't really affect GA, but who knows? You know, with news, you never know. No one's going to know. No one's gonna know.
Yeah, keep in mind too, if you're trading an Aussie pair, there is somewhat of a correlation with gold because the Australian currency is a resource-based currency, and gold is a major resource in that country. So there's fluctuations. As an example, like if you're watching gold gain price or gain value, you may find that like weaker pairs against the Aussie dollar strengthens against them. So keep that in mind if you are trading gold. You can look sometimes at like an Aussie pair, and if you do see like the AUD side strengthening, so the Aussie dollar getting stronger, there could be a bit of potential for the gold to go up and vice versa. But once again, there is a bigger move with gold than there would be a bigger drop with, or a bigger strength gain with the Australian dollar, because once again, it's not 100% correlated. There's a bit of correlation, but not enough to really sway it unless there's a heavy move with gold, either in the positive or negative direction at that point. So it's just something, if you want to study, like if you want to understand correlations, you could study pairs, and if you want to study gold with an Aussie pair, you could sort of see how they move, and you would say, hey, for every $5 gold moves up or down, this pair with backed against the Aussie dollar moves X amount of pips, and you can sort of play with that as well and say, okay, you know, this is going to happen. It's similar to what we do with like GJ and Euro pound, like those kind of pairs, where you can say, hey, the stronger currency pairs are moving, so that means the weaker, you know, currency pairs will move after the fact, or they might move a little bit more than, say, the stronger, more dominant pairs.
Oh, someone's playing Age of Empires.
How do you know?
Because that song,
You
that
play.
I used to play Age of Empires a lot. Like, when the game starts going, turn on. Oh, there we go. Gold is moving up. Very nice.
Yeah, it's rejecting that resistance.
Yes. Rejected 1715. It's beautiful.
More information.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so there's your 1718 target hit, and if you look on the hourly chart, you have that tail now formed. That's what we were looking for, so you'll probably have more upside coming up. So if you're trading gold, potentially wait for the next 30-minute candle or even like 9 a.m. And once we break it, like you said, like Raja said, above like 1720, we're going to have a clean move up. So this is good for us. If you're anticipating continuous bullish strength with gold, you've now got a little bit more information to run with as soon as we break 1720. If the candle confirmations, and what I mean by that is we have a support formed at 1720 to break above, you've got 1720 all the way up to 1723. Nice clean move. But if you're in it now, I mean, you should be good. I think stops below at this point 1715 are pretty safe, and then you should run to about 1725 if you're in this trade for the longer haul, if you're trying to get a little bit more from it. But if you're looking for 20 or 30 pips, anything above 1720, you'll probably easily get that.
All the time frames are looking beautiful. 4 hour already grabs liquidity, heavy
Yeah.
volume from the bottom side of the previous 4 hour candle. Now the price on the 30-minute looking Gucci. The moment this candle start breaking that 1719 and closing above the 1720 is going to be an easy ride over the 1725 at least.
Yeah, and I think people looking at this candle saying, well, how could we have caught this? What you would have done is when you saw the dip, you could have put a pending order, potentially at 17. I would say, give me a second here. On the 15-minute candle, you would have said, okay, if there's a dip and it starts to reverse back up above 1716, even 1716 like 80. And then you'll see on the 15-minute candle that would have already had your bottom tail on the 15-minute, and then it would have started to drive up, and that's where you would have caught that move. So it's anticipating that, hey, if the candle starts to flip, where is it going to start flipping at? And that's where you'd watch your 15-minute time frame. You can watch your 5-minute time frame. This with the 5-minute time frame would have been very risky, but on the 15-minute time frame you could see you're just flying back into that pullback which we had for the North American Open, which we knew was going to happen anyways because institutions want a better price at 8 a.m.
Yeah, I got this above 1716, 80, 1790.
Very nice. And the beauty of gold is that if you pay attention, you back test basically gold a lot. You will basically see the same moves over and over again, and you will have these kind of moves. The volume from this candle, nothing compares to the indecision in these small candles. Now this candle, look the size of this candle on the lower time frames. Look at the size of this candle. So it doesn't matter how the bearish candle how are forming. You basically just waiting for a push, retracement, push, retracement, and it's really simple. Price action on gold is really good. Sometimes if you find yourself trading in a range, it's gonna be really hard for you to take any profits on gold. But when it's trending, it's really easy to trade.
Yeah, and on top of that too, you have to be very conscious of certain resistance levels. Like even on the 5-minute chart here on gold, we know that 1718, 1719 is a resistance area. So we know that there's usually a heavy pullback with that. So, a lot of times, we see things where there isn't a pullback or it just continues to move. And then you say to yourself, well, how could we have caught that? It's not necessarily how we could have caught that, but it's more of when you're back testing, it's like, what do you see most frequently? Like, don't look at the anomalies of what, gold just shot up like 60 pips in a 5-minute candle. That's an anomaly. Look at what consistently it does. It really respects, key levels. And what I mean by key levels is you just have to look to the left. If there's massive consolidation or, massive support or massive resistance area on, multiple time frames, that there's going to be a reaction at that area. So don't gamble with those reaction points if you're not comfortable, just taking a smaller profit or potentially taking a loss. The idea is, as we come to those points of contention, is to already have a decision made in your mind, saying to yourself, okay, well, at this point, if we get to 1718, I was in from 1716, I'm happy with 20 pips, I'm closing. Not, well, Ted said we're going to go to 1725, so I'm going to try and hold. Because what ends up happening is you get that massive pullback back to 1716 again, and you're like, well, I just had a 20 pip trade go to break even within a 5-minute candle. And it's like, that's not smart trading. The idea is you want to just get to certain points on the chart and then evaluate at that point with the decision. You don't want to say, hey, because somebody said this or because I think this is going to happen, I'm just going to hold and just sort of white knuckle the whole situation. It's like, give yourself a chance to take small wins so that when you want to get a big win and you want like that 50 or 60 pip move on gold, you've built your account up and you've built your confidence up that, hey, if this 50 or 60 pip move doesn't work out with gold, I know I can still go back to my 20, my 10, my 15 pip moves to go back at gold again. And I think that's what will help your confidence, because if you're always looking for like a huge move and you constantly get stopped out or you're constantly hitting break even, you get discouraged pretty fast. But if you know you have something that works, you can then sort of stray away from that plan and expand on it and say, hey, today with gold, I saw 1713 was a huge potential upside to like 1718, 1720. Okay, perfect. I'm in now deep. I can let this play out and maybe I can get to the 1723 or 1725 I'm looking for today because I already got my 20 pips secured and now I'm just going to try and let it run. And I think if you get used to doing that and you get comfortable with your plan and adapting with your plan and just sort of executing, you'll feel a lot better about taking 10 or 20 pip trades, because one day you'll get that 60, 70 pip move and you're like, damn, that was pretty good. But you're not looking for it every day. You're just looking to grab a bit out of the market and then return again.
Oh, nothing happened over here. We're still in that range here. Pound yen also closed above the support. 15-minute time frame. Also in a 30-minute time frame, is still ranging on pound yen. GA closed bearish. Now you need this low to be broken for it to continue down. Gold is still in the range. Let's take a look at USD/JPY. USD/JPY is, oh, we're coming down here slowly. Let's take a look at the numbers here now. Ooh, bad numbers. Bad numbers should mean gold should continue bullish. Now here's the thing, right? If gold doesn't break above 1719 now, or maybe in the next 20 minutes, 15 minutes, I think more of a break is going to come on when the news gets absorbed into the market, and then we have NYSE open. Just like yesterday happened, right? Yesterday price just range, stayed in the range, and it broke above, around NYSE open. So I think that's what we're waiting for here, for the news to get absorbed into the market before we start moving. So we got 1780, 18. We're coming closer now. Hey, Raja, can you see my gold idea, please? Let's take a look here. So we're going to keep an eye on 1719 here. Gold idea above 1718. Waiting for price to break above to go long. Better entry with the wick. Nice. Yeah, so you're basically visualizing the candles. It's actually pretty good. You can get that move up. Ooh, GA has also broken the low here for price to continue down. Let's take a look at the 15-minute candle. We're making lower highs and lower lows. Very nice, very nice. Gold is also pushing about beyond 1719 here. Anywhere in the database which shows you how to break down gold analysis like Ted and Kervin, it's basically breaking down candles. You get the 4-hour candle. You're basically breaking down candles. That's all what it is. And that comes from, I'm going to say it again, looking at price when it happened and try to figure out how could you have taken that trade, anticipated that trade, like, you know, what happened and all that stuff.
Yeah, and it's also like you say, Raja, focusing on one pair. Like I've been trading gold now for like close to 5 years, so I've pretty much seen all the foolery it's done and what it can do. That's why I'm very cautious trading it. I'm aggressive, and I look for, you know, and same with Kerwin, we look for those targets. But we also know how gold can ruin you in a 5-minute candle. I've watched that where I've been, you know, 30 pips in profit and then rips right back to break even and closes my trade, or, you know, just a little bit above. I mean, people have seen my trades where, you know, they're like, oh, you only got 3 pip profit on that trade. It's like, yeah, because we were up 40 pips and it pulled all the way back. I didn't take profit at 40 pips. I tried to extend the trade. So, you know, learning that comes from experience, and it just comes from, like you said, reading the candles and reading the charts and anticipating what's going to happen every day. You show up to the New York session over the next 2 years, every day looking at gold, you're going to become very good at trading gold. It doesn't happen looking at it for a couple of weeks or when there's big moves because of, you know, NFP or something like that.
Yeah, I know that's true. It takes a long time. Long time to just look at something and just focusing on it. Because, like, at the same time, you know, guys ask me, so how'd you get good? How that, let's say, pound yen? Because we've been looking at pound yen for about 4.5 years now. You know, every day at the same time, just over and over and over and over again. You know, even though when it ranges, I still look at pound yen. Because there's no other point to look at something else if I don't trade that. Did backtesting help? Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly it, Raja, because then what you can do is you can then anticipate and say to yourself, okay, well, why were we ranging? You know, what was the rationale behind that? And, you know, where can we anticipate a break? And you're not going to miss the move because you're focused on that one pair. And yeah, you may have to wait for 2 or 3 days, but then you catch the opportunity after that.
USDJPY is really getting that force of that bad news coming down. Let's take a look on the 4-hour time frame, see what's going on. We're just ranging on the 4-hour. 1 hour is also kind of in a range. We still got the supports at 110, 500. Isn't hindsight bias bad for backtesting? Nope, it's good for learning. It's good for learning. Because let's say, for example, if someone was looking for this GA move and they missed out on this move, then you can go back to the charts and you can just say, okay, well, maybe I could have entered when this candle broke the low at this point and just basically held the trade. You know, if it came down to, let's say how much it came down around, you know, like 7 pips, 8 pips, and let's say down the road it starts falling down towards, you know, 1.81750, that's on 15 pips, and then you can say, okay, yeah, you know what, if this happens the next time, I'm probably going to execute on it. So that's the good thing about hindsight, because price has already moved, so that's the opportunity to learn from that movement to see how you can be a part of that next time. If what's this? If the next 1 hour candle rejects 1720 and closes bearish, could that be a sell opportunity as 1720 is I don't think so. Maybe below 1715.58 would be a good sell opportunity, because you got this clean move going up, and if you break below this area, you're gonna have a potential clean move coming down. In this like 39 to 40 pip range.
Yeah, and also keep in mind too, this hourly candle is very bullish. The one thing that I try and remind people is one candle directional change is not a confirmation of change in direction. And you look at the daily candle currently with gold, we are pretty bullish. So even if you do get like a single hour pullback or maybe a single 30-minute candle pullback, I wouldn't trust that enough. You may, like, this is the thing, you may catch like 10 or 20 pips off that 30-minute candle and say, haha, I won. But try and do that over 100 times and see how many times you get slapped in the face when the candle dips down to create a tail and then rips right back up again, right? So, try and look to say, hey, you know what, if I miss this hourly candle now that we're at 1719, I'm going to wait for the dip again with the next hourly candle and try and catch the same idea, because I know that gold potentially could go back up to 1723. It might take a bit of time, but as soon as we have, a little bit of momentum above 1720 and we hold there, and the next hourly candle dips down, and holds support at 1720, there's a higher chance we're going to 1723 than a lower chance of going back down to like 1700 today, as an example.
Yeah, I agree. You know how many times we basically, Ted and me, have been in profits and looking at the charts and looking at candles, and we know the target, and this goal is pulling back to our entry, takes us out, and then flies up from there.
Exactly.
And it's frustrating because you already have the target, and but you don't want to mess around with gold, because running your stop loss to another area is really dangerous. So instead of that, just break even, whatever. But not. It's really sad looking at how gold behaves sometimes.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, and that's where like you really want to secure profits right away with gold. If you get a 5-minute candle that shoots up, like I said, 20 or 30 pips, then sometimes it's just time to get out and just enjoy the rest of your day. Who cares if it goes up another 50 pips or 40 pips? Like, you're just going to stress yourself out, because sitting there, you're just going to try and chase the trade, and that doesn't make any sense at all.
Oh, what's this over here? Can this region be a problem? Yeah, so you have to be cautious about this rejection here in the 15-minute time frame as price starts to move up. And I don't think taking a buy at this point is a good idea either way, because you got rejections here, so you don't know whether this candle is rejecting or it's breaking up. We just don't know that. So I wouldn't be taking buys. If a buy is executed here, I wouldn't be I mean, I don't know, I wouldn't want to be in that trade over there because of these rejections here. Alright, let's take a look at this chart over here. No trade range, buys above 152.925, looks good. I'm looking at buys above 152.800 if that happens. Possible sells as well. This is no trade range. Nice, zone work is pretty good. Sells below 152, so this is right here, right? So you're looking for sells below 152.550. Let's measure this range over here. Is this even enough range? I don't think so. Is this 15? Oh yeah, I think it's pretty good. Sells below 152.550, 540. You could get like a wick fail here and then possibly a continuation down towards 152.380. Yeah, the 30-minute candle is going to close here too. When this 30-minute candle closes, yeah, it's also a close on the 4-hour candle here as well. Wow, this is just ranging on the 4-hour time frame. Look at that block. Candles printing side by side. So difficult.
Yeah, looks like GG will get a correction really soon. on that price.
It makes sense that this actual wick rejected with the previous one as well. Trade got me a break even because I didn't feel comfortable anymore. Yeah, that's good. Maybe this area was a rejection area here to the left hand side. We can see it right here, right? But at the same time, whenever you're getting scared, close, partials and let the rest run. That's like my rule. That's like my one rule. Yeah, close partials and let the rest run. This is what I talked about yesterday. That trades get. All right. That when trades, when your trades get stopped out at break even, close partials and let the rest run. Because, even though there's a bit of a rejection, that rejection may happen in the smaller time frames, but the overall time frame, you see clean candles here to the left hand side. All right, what's going on over here? This is GAO, worrying about the same area. Nice, 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 nice. Yeah, man, just take some profits off and just let the rest run. Whenever you get scared. Whenever I get scared, I just take some positions off, basically. And just let the rest run. Works every time. Even if that doesn't work, what will work is that your confidence is going to grow in that trade. Because you're going to say, okay, you know what, I took that trade, even though I removed some positions, but it did still work out. And if that happens the next time, maybe you're going to take less profits off. Maybe instead of closing 50%, you may close 30% and let the rest run. So slowly you're going to let more and more of your positions run, trusting the overall 15-minute time frame, trusting the overall 30-minute time frame, and then you're going to have a pretty nice trade, at the next time too. Yeah, so when I go in drawdown, I just get mad at the drawdown. I'm like, oh, how can we reduce this? Does it make sense to trade gold on London session tomorrow? It depends what type of volume there is in London session. Very tough to say. Because, there's going to be no London session. I mean, there will be, but it's a, pound.
Bank holiday.
Bank holiday, yeah. So you can see here, price made perfect lower lows, lower highs, broke below support, perfectly came down. If gold breaks resistance, what the stop loss should be? Well, first of all, we need gold to break resistance. And then you need to execute a trade to be able to have a stop loss. I think if this 15-minute candle breaks resistance, I think a stop down at 17.57 would be good. But depends, if we break it or not, or which candle basically breaks it.
And the other thing too is if people are looking to take trades, and that's the question that they're asking, there's obviously not enough experience in terms of how to execute on trades, because you would never execute on a trade where you're blindly just taking a position. There has to be some sort of idea behind it, right? So when you plan out a trade, the first thing you have to plan out is your stop loss. If you can't find a stop loss, or you don't know where you can place a stop loss, then there's no trade for you. You have to get used to that. Start planning backwards. Don't look for profits, look for how much I can lose. Start with that aspect first, and if there's not a level that you're comfortable losing, then there's no trade for you. And that's okay, because as you get more comfortable with trading and executing, you'll start to see, hey, I can place my stop loss below the 5-minute time frame. I can place my stop loss below the 15-minute time frame. I can get a tighter stop loss. I'll take 8 pips here with a 2-pip stop loss. Like my risk to reward will always be positive, but it'll adjust based on the idea that I'm trying to present on the charts. And that's where a lot of new traders or traders that are having difficulty fail, is because they don't actually plan a trade. They look at a target and they're like, well, gold's going to go to 1723 because that's what Ted and Kerwin said, so I'm just going to take a trade right now. And it's like, well, there's not really any information for us to place a stop loss, for us to find support. If price just rockets to 1723 or 1722 and we miss it, that's part of trading. We're not able to take every opportunity that we analyze because sometimes there's just no ability to place a stop loss. There's no comfort level with the actual trade. Because remember, it's larger institutions and other bodies that are making the price move, not retail traders all sitting on live streams. So there's going to be opportunities where we say, hey, yeah, price can go here, but there's just not an entry, and we just watch price go there. And then what we do is, like Raj always says, review later today. How could we have anticipated this? Where would we have looked for an entry? So maybe our entry was at 1715 and now there's no entry to 1725. Things of that nature, right? So you have to look and you have to be reasonable with yourself and not say, well, just because we think price is going here, that's a trade opportunity. We can just watch price get there and so be it.
If your trade is, let's say, 7 to 8 pip profit, and would you still keep a stop loss at break even or let it be at previous level? I'm making notes, so please tell if possible. It's totally up to you. I mean, go watch the go watch my last post on Instagram and you get your answer over there. I mean, if you put stops at break even, that means you're accepting that break even outcome. That's basically what it is. If you're in 7 pip profit and you put stops at break even and price hits your break even point, that means you're accepting the break even outcome. So you can't complain at that point, oh, I got stopped out at break even. No, because you are accepting that outcome. That's all what it is. Let's take a look at this chart over here. Journal this entry. Enter on the break of the resistance during the final manufacturing GMI. Okay, GMI news over here. Not a clean range, but expected price to retest resistance based on pound yen news. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's good because news brought in volume, so this makes sense over here. Can you please tell me if this is good? Multiple rejections at support. You're looking at a buy. You have resistance. You have take profit above resistance. I'm not sure. I don't know. I think you need for price to break above this area here. 152.800, whatever price that is. I think that's 152.800, yeah. You'll need price to break above this area for it to continue bullish. You have multiple rejections, but you don't have any confirmation that we're breaking that resistance or not unless we break it. That's the whole thing, right? We have this resistance, so we haven't broken this yet to continue up. Just like here, gold now, right? If gold breaks above 1719, 60, 1720, then we know that its possible target is 1723, 1724. And I do think if we break above, it's going to be due to this bad news and market really absorbing these numbers and realizing that, oh, okay, we need to continue moving bullish.
Yeah, and the current 15-minute candle is going to be the critical for the 4-hour candle closing and for all the time frames, giving you the confidence to take the trade with the next 15 minutes, basically. Because if gold, let's say the current 15 minutes is just teasing you to take buys, whoever is trying to take buys right there where the price is right now, the resistance, because they think that they're going to miss the move and gold decides to retrace and break below the 1716, it can make you suffer because it's going to give you a deep retest to the area that we just left, 1710, But let's wait a little bit to see if we get a confirmation. This 15-minute candle has to drive price outside that resistance.
Yes. We shall break out and we shall pump out.
Yeah.
Pump out of 1719.
Yeah. It's right there.
Do you have gym today? I'm just asking so I know when the stream may end. Can you stay for NYSC? No. I'm going to leave in 8 minutes. Guys, you have to remember, I have very strict times. I don't let market decide when I look at the charts. I decide when I look at the charts. You know, because like charts move all the time, and you know, I got stuff to do. How many pips are you up on gold? 0. 0 pips up on gold. The 4-hour candle is about to close, and if it closes, the next one may very well kind of like wick down before moving up, right? And that wick down may be a retracement for NYSE to move up. So taking buys there, it would have been a very, very bad idea.
So now, if you're looking at gold, what you can do is now you can play the game. You can say, okay, we broke above, 1718, we broke into 1719s, and then we rejected again. So now what we're looking is, will support be made for the next hour candles in this area here, right? And what I mean by that is what we'll see is potentially a candle that, dips down and then continues to go up, and then you'll see maybe another candle that dips down and continues to go up a little bit higher. So then that's where you can start saying, okay, my stop loss can be now below this area here on the anticipation that we're going to continue going up at that point. This is how, if you're looking to expand upon your trading or you're looking to get better as a trader, this is now the game that you play with yourself, is you say, okay, where do I believe support is going to be formed and why? Because we've now broken a little bit above that area, and how will the next candles form, and where do we want to see an entry? So as an example, if the new hour candle dips down, because this is the 30-minute candle right now, if we dip down into this area here, well, not that far down, but if we dip, say, over here, we know that a tail is formed on the hour, and that we're potentially pushing up to fill this area here and then continue going up at that point. So you can then say, okay, my stop loss is going to be below here, which matches up, sort of with this area over here, or maybe even this area over here. And that's what you would be doing to anticipate that, we have this step. So this was our first step, this was the second step, and now this is the third step, and we're continuing up at that point. And that each step, whether it's here, or here, those were support areas that we are now able to place a stop loss below, and that works on most time frames. But obviously the higher time frames give you the better confluence, and they're stronger at that point.
Take a look at this chart. It's not labeled, so we're just gonna try to do it here. So I guess if you're looking for a second entry, this is your support over here, so may want to see price kind of like break this area to potentially have a second entry right there. That's what I would want to do. But since you're already in trade, I would maybe say maybe try to see if you can secure positions or not, because if we're coming up to the support, price may reject this area very easily. All right, pound yen basically ranged during the entire New York session. We may see move up just like yesterday at NYC Open. Yeah, gold also at the same level over here at resistance. We're going to see what's going to happen. I've been profitable for 5 months. I learned from watching Raja streams and creating my own plan. Thank you for all the free lessons and simplifying trading. Oh, nice, man. Thank you, thank you. Are you going to look on GJ tomorrow since we will be bank holiday, or will be volume because of NFP? Tomorrow will only be a day to watch NFP. That's it. Because bank holiday for the pound, bank holiday for major, I mean, like, like the European sessions, basically, it's a bank holiday tomorrow. 'Cause look at that. Europe close, CAD bank holiday, pound bank holiday, Swiss bank holiday, Euro bank holiday, So I don't think there's going to be enough volume tomorrow. You usually trade breakouts, but do you also take trade based on pullbacks at support? Yes. So this was a little execution right here. Price came down, broke above the high over here for price to continue up. That was about it. Do you set alerts for when you're not looking at the charts? No. No alerts are set. Ooh, what's this? I'm in buys on gold from 1711. I closed half on 1717. What should be my stop loss for the other half? Well, if you closed half on 1717, since you don't know where your stop is, which is not good at all, I would say maybe have stops at like 1717 here, below this 15-minute candle.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. My only concern is the next hour candle may dip further down again. So this is one of those things, if you're trading gold, you should know these nuances. And a lot of pairs have these nuances is towards the end of the hour, we get a final rip up. And then 1 minute into the new hour candle, it starts to reject and go pretty heavy to the downside before it starts to go back up again. These are things that, as a trader, you start to recognize. So you might find that, and a lot of times I do this too, is I'll get out before the end of a half hour candle or the end of the hour candle because I don't want to be part of that pullback. Unless I'm deeper in profits and I know that I'll be able to hold my stop at a reasonable level where it shouldn't go back to, right? So like technically a reasonable stop would be at this point like 1715, right? On your new hour candle, not so much 1717. Obviously 1717 is a support area, but the deeper support would be 1715 because we did tap in to 1717 numerous times in the last 15, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. But yeah, it's something that you have to be able to just accept at that point if we do start to break down again. But looks like gold is moving back up.
Yeah, I was about to ask you if you trust the power on 1 minute candle, because I was expecting this push since the 4 hours finally closing really nice on top of the previous one. So I just secured some profits right now. Got a really nice move in 1 minute.
Yeah. There's 1721 and basically 1722 coming up. So
yeah, there we go.
$17.22 coming up, $17.23 on its way. We got clean candles to the left-hand side. Look at that.
We should get the $5 move that we wanted, going to 1725 trust.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, we know how gold behaves. Yeah, it's an easy move.
Yeah, once we broke above this high over here, it was just like there's no retracement after that.
Yeah, it's taking souls right now.
Raja is in? No, I'm not in this trade here. Didn't take this one.
I'm only 40 pips in profit on that.
Only 40 pips in profits.
Yeah, I mean, for gold, to be honest, to give me 100 pip move is nice, but today I didn't want it to add another position because, like Ted says, I didn't know at that point if I'm gonna get that dip retest on the new hourly open. Now We have seen this a lot on GJ as well. When the 4-hour candle closed really strong on a resistance point, the new hour candle is just a straight move to the upside or to the downside, either way. If you're looking for sells, it's going to be a straight drop, and if you're looking for buy, it's going to be a straight move up.
Yeah, and the thing is too, if people, they were looking to take this trade. I mean, when you saw that rejection on the 15-minute candle, all you have to do is place a buy stop where the wicks are a little bit above, and you would have caught this move easily, because what you're doing is you're anticipating the fill of a wick in momentum, and that's the whole idea behind wicks don't lie, is that with momentum, wicks always get filled. So this 15-minute pullback was for the new hour candle to form and drive up. We didn't know that it wouldn't pull back, but you know that wick is going to get filled if there is momentum. So that's where your pending orders come into play, and you just rip right back up, and you can see that you had no issues with the trade at all.
Yeah, look at that. Broke resistance, clean traffic, clean range. So nice. Even though I'm not in this trade, just by looking at it working over and over and over again, I know it works all the time. If not all the time, 90% of the time.
Yeah, 90%. But 90 is enough.
Yeah, I mean, people are now upset, obviously, in the gulag because they didn't catch this, but we've been saying this since 8 a.m. that we were going to 1723, 1724. I said several targets. It wasn't that hard to figure out, and it's basically taking an entry and holding your entry. But once again, if you don't trade gold, it's very hard to catch these moves, and it's okay. Once you get better with trading gold, you'll see these moves all the time. Kerwin caught it. Like, everyone who trades gold regularly caught the same move.
Yeah, that's true. It's all experience.
1725 incoming. There you go.
Almost there. Gold went up. Pound. Oh,
The spread, man. Come on, man. Shit.
Pound AUD also came down, just as we expected here too.
Beautiful. Okay. Secure those profits. Whoever took this buy, secure those profits. Bring stop loss of break even, or at least at 1720, 1722. You don't have to let anything on the table at this point. And the way this 5-minute candle is closing is beautiful, because the next 5-minute candle can easily rip off another 20 pips to the upside toward the 1726. Yeah, but you don't have to let anything on the table so far.
Oh, Mr. Danish, gold win. Every time Uncle Unicorn comes on, I never take a loss.
Beautiful. You see, I love it, man.
Uncle Unicorn. There you go.
Uncle Unicorn.
But, if you look at, all you have to do is go back to the hour candles, right? So if we look at the hour candles, we can see, looking to the left, there's always an opportunity to fill that area, right? So keep that open for a bit, Raja, just for a second. We know that on the hour candle, you have this area over here, which is a range, right? We know, and we can see here that this is pretty messy. But once we break out, we have that clean traffic all the way over here to complete this area. So all we're doing is waiting for this break. However it breaks, you know that we're going to mirror this information over here. So people shouldn't be surprised that we hit this target. It's just, how are we going to get there, and how, as a trader, are you able to take that trade? And like we said, maybe we get this rejection down to go up, but we know that we're going to fill this area here, this specific area. So all you have to do is place a buy stop in this area with momentum, and you would have caught that up with no drawdown, or place a buy stop above this area here and let it push up. This is part of your planning. This is part of your execution, because it doesn't matter that we didn't see this rejection and then a drive up. What the anticipation was once we break above this area and we have a clean move, it's going to go up. So placing a buy stop here, there's no problem doing that, because you're watching it as it breaks up, and you would have said, okay, we're pushing. Now I can move my stop loss to here and continue to go up. It would have been the exact same as if we had the pull down and then you had this, little section forming, and then you place your buy stop over here because now you have liquidity over here. Instead, we had liquidity over here and we had liquidity over here. It's the exact same idea. You have to be able to adapt and say to yourself, okay, where's my target and why is my target going to be there?
Gold buys was 50 pips. GA sells we called. This was what? 20 pips. Nice. Had some nice moves on gold called over here. GA also came down nice. Pound yen is also coming up above 152.800 here slowly. Ooh, someone donated £5. Thank you for the lessons. Raja and Uncle Ted and Kerwin made some profits again today on gold. Closed at 1724. Nice. Beautiful. Thank you, Paul Harris. Just because of you, we're going to increase the price for the live streams now from £20 to £30. 20 pounds to 30 pounds. Man, we played a April Fool's joke on the Gulag here this morning, and people were crying. We're like, it's going to be $20 a month now. People started crying. They're like, no, why? Why? Don't you make enough money? Why?
I remember, I think it was like a year ago or something like that. You guys said on Instagram that the price was about to change on the live streaming. Everybody was panicking and they're gonna increase the price, and what's the price right now? It's free. So
yeah, they're like, oh, what's the price now? Yeah, guys are like, don't you make enough money? I'm like, ask Bill Gates trying to charge me $50 for Microsoft Office.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, crazy. Beautiful.
All right, everybody, I'm gonna head off over here. I gotta go to I gotta get ready here, and then
Okay, brother.
yeah,
Thank you, Roger.
come back tomorrow.
Uncle
Thank
Ted,
you,
thank you
Chris.
so much, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brazil.
Thank you, everybody. Give a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel. It helps a lot of people. I had to mute everyone to give this message out, and yeah, there we go.
Gracias, aguante.
Becomes like a fish market really quick.
I know, man.
Brazil.
Thank you.
Brazil.
Peru.
Nice day.
All right. Take care.